Tonight at 10, a state of emergency in the bi-state before the winter storm blows in.
First alert weather days issued through Monday. Dangerous cold, and then the snow arrives Saturday into Sunday. I have updated totals, timing, and the impacts on roads.
Warnings on both sides of the river as the Arctic air moves in and before snow falls.
This is going to take a long time to get cleaned up.
I'm Sean Logging in Collinsville, cluing you in on crew's plan of attack in the Metro East.
We think we have a good plan. If it changes, we're ready to pivot.
What the city is doing to keep some of the most vulnerable off the streets before the winter storm.
Our staff really works from a compassionate place and to make sure that everybody here is safe and welcomed.
And drivers filling up before the snow starts falling down.
It'll come no matter how we feel about it, so better prepare.
Live, First Alert 4 starts now.
We begin this hour tracking a massive winter storm that'll blanket much of the United States, impacting millions of people around the country, including in the St. Louis area. This is First Alert 4 at 10. I'm Morgan Harris. Today is the first of 4 First Alert weather days in store. We're talking frigid temperatures and snow. We do have team coverage of this major weather event and its impacts on both sides of the river. We begin with Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton tonight.
And it's not just snow, it's also the Arctic air that has warranted the First Alert weather days that'll go through Monday, by the way. The dangerous cold through Monday morning. Wind chills tonight, for instance, -10 to -15. The snow is Saturday into Sunday, but Saturday is light. It's Saturday night into Sunday morning. That's going to be the heaviest snow. And it's going to hit a wall of dry air at first, at least. So we're going to start to see what looks like snow radar returns, but they're not reaching the ground. Actually, what's happening is that wall of snow is hitting near record dry air, getting pushed in by this Arctic high that has also pushed in the really cold air. So the snow is going to need some time, this first wave, to overcome some dry air. And then the core of our storm ejects a piece of energy that really fires things up Saturday night into Sunday morning. That's when we'll get the heaviest snow. Right now, it's the calm before the snow on the Ford Skycam network downtown, all dry. But man, it is cold. 3 in St. Louis right now, -13 for the wind chill. In St. Charles, 3 at -13, 1 in Litchfield for the air temperature right now. Tomorrow morning, we'll wake up temperature around 2, wind chills around -13, frigid. Light snow maybe to the southwest where it overcomes some of the dry air first, but probably not till after 9 a.m. to about noon we see it in St. Louis. So let's talk road impacts. The first wave, remember, is going to be light, 1 to 2 inches, and that's from 9 a.m. all the way through 11 p.m. It may not be that impressive. Some areas to the northeast, probably even under an inch, but I'm thinking light snow, but it sticks immediately. So that means even if you get a half an inch or an inch, it compresses that fluffy snow when you drive on it into a sheet of ice. This is where you really don't want to be driving, though. Saturday from 11 o'clock, overnight into Sunday morning through noon, an additional 6 inches or more of snow just from this hit. Maybe a little less to the north, but St. Louis south, a 6-inch plus hit of snow. Stay off the roads Sunday morning through noon, and probably a little beyond, because even though the snow tapers off Sunday afternoon, you got to give crews time to clean the roads from what will be some heavy snow. Inches of snow coming our way. I'll map it all out for you, time it all out, and show you how long the frigid air will last coming up.
Steve, we'll see you soon. Thank you. Throughout the day, we've caught up with people doing last-minute errands before the storm. John Kipper heard from people gearing up to hunker down.
Yeah, I'm out at QT right now, and any winter weather expert will tell you that you should have a full tank of gas if you're going to be driving out in the snow. And that's what folks behind me are doing right now. And I was speaking with drivers earlier today about how they're going to handle the snow. The consensus is they aren't driving.
Where I stayed in the city, we finna be snowed in the whole weekend.
City resident Raymond Curry gassing up, grabbing snacks, and bracing to be stuck at home all weekend.
We probably not going nowhere, so we just preparing, getting food and stuff like this. So yeah, we gonna be in the house.
The National Weather Service projects the region to get somewhere around 6 to 12 inches of snow over Saturday and Sunday, with a blast of Arctic air making temperatures frigid.
Yeah, pretty much hunkering down. My boss told us to expect to work from home Monday.
Caitlin Hanner's planning to stay home Sunday when the snow is expected to really come down, but Saturday, she's a friend's birthday party around a mile from her Tower Grove South home.
And it's only about a mile from us, so worst case scenario, we'll walk there, but we're making it there either way.
Now, for people that must drive, the Missouri Department of Transportation say they will start pre-treating roads at midnight Saturday, but they warn that the treatment may not work as well due to the cold temps.
It's going to limit how well our treatment works. So this is mainly going to be a plowing event.
I was going to come in about 3 o'clock to get started.
and so I can try to get out of there by noon.
Andreas Washington has to be out on the road Saturday, but is planning to get in early to avoid the storm. Are you looking forward to this? Are you dreading it? Like, where's your head out ahead of this?
Oh, no, I don't want this snow. Not that much.
And multiple city residents say when the snow comes down, they hope the city cleans up the streets better than the January 2025 storm.
Hopefully the city prepared this time, because last time they wasn't prepared.
And the Missouri State Highway Patrol says that if you are driving, make sure you have blankets and emergency kits, because they say if you get stuck, it may take them a while to get to you. Reporting in St. Louis County, John Kipper, First Alert 4.
Our Team 4 coverage continues with Sean logging in Collinsville tonight. He heard from Plow crews and companies finishing up final preps for the storm.
Part of what's to come is a long weekend for people working to make sure that the roads to parking lots are cleared. Waiting for the first flakes to fall.
We've been preparing for actually 2 days, getting, salt ready, calcium, and getting the trucks ready.
At Lawn Mex in Belleville, it's been about making sure there's nothing on their end to impede the efforts to clear potentially several inches of snow.
It means like a lot of work for this weekend.
Owner Jeff Villavicencio saying that weekend starting Friday night as they start salting the parking lots and driveways of businesses, churches, and homes that they serve, places they'll be back frequently this weekend.
Every storm is different, but definitely it's going to be a challenge because they're calling for so many inches, some new equipment we're trying to use, and hopefully it's going to work out,
Yeah. It's not the only place making sure that everything is good to go.
We've gone over all of our equipment 2 or 3 times the past couple of days. We've made sure we're completely full. There's no piece of equipment that isn't fueled up by now. That was the last thing by 3:30.
Joseph Monroe with IDOT says he expects they'll be going once the snow starts Saturday through at least Monday, and stresses this will mainly involve plow removal as it will be too cold for most of their chemicals to be effective.
Rock salt will work in a lab down to about 6, but out on the roadway with wind and the pavement being frozen, realistically its effectiveness cuts off at about 20.
He says that means it's important to let plow drivers do their work because they're going to be on the roads for an extended period of time.
That plow operator, the woman or man in that front seat, that's their office, and it's going to be their office for 12 hours a day for the next 3 days, maybe even more. Give them room to work.
Because with this powerful winter storm coming, it's going to involve a lot of work to get the snow removed.
You need to provide that service, for our clients.
IDOT says it plans to run at least 150 plows the next 3 days in its area of the Metro East, but it's going to be aiming for closer to 200. They also say if you get behind a snowplow, stay there. That's your best chance to get to your destination rather than trying to pass it. In Collinsville, Sean logging, First Alert 4.
The city of St. Louis is watching out for those without a place to stay. 1,000 shelter beds will be available between tonight and Monday morning. Shelters will be open around the clock. Staffers tell me they expect to see an influx of people as this brutal weather is only expected to get worse. I caught up with Michael Kirkland, who says he has spent the last 5 days at a South City shelter, and he plans to stay there through this bitter cold weekend.
Somewhere I can be able to be warm and be able to get something to eat at least at the minimum. I'm very thankful. The staff and everything here are wonderful people.
Our staff really works from a compassionate place and to make sure that everybody here is safe and welcomed, has privacy, dignity in the time that they're here with us.
Space is available for families and people with pets. Call the 211 helpline for more information. And we are not alone when it comes to bracing for this winter storm. Hundreds of millions of Americans are in its path. CBS's Bradley Blackburn has the latest on what the National Weather Service is calling a historic winter storm.
The first snow has begun to fall in northern Texas as a major winter system makes its way across the U.S. this weekend. Roughly 180 million people from the Rockies to the Northeast will feel the wrath of winter, with more than a foot of snow expected in some areas.
We haven't had one of these like this year, so it is a big deal for the state. If you can do it, stay indoors this weekend.
Shoppers from Massachusetts down to Tennessee and Texas all scrambled to stock up on groceries and other essentials before they hunker down.
It's almost like a scavenger hunt, right? So you're like, get the last case of water. So I'm going to try my
my absolute best.
Salt spreaders are loading up in New York City.
While we cannot control how much snow will actually fall this weekend, we can control how we prepare for and respond to this storm.
But there's concern of salt shortages elsewhere.
The problem that we are seeing, as well as other cities in the Northeast, is that the southern cities who usually don't get hit with salt are purchasing more and more salt over the last few days.
In Texas, residents worry about a repeat of a deadly ice storm in 2021 that overwhelmed the state's power grid, leaving millions of people in the dark and cold.
The ERCOT grid has never been stronger, never been more prepared, and is fully capable of handling this winter storm.
Airlines aren't taking any chances, canceling more than 3,000 flights for Saturday. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
And we have closings running at the bottom of your screen there. And to stay up to date on what's happening all weekend long, Steve and the weather team will be live on the First Alert 4 on stream, giving you the latest as we get it. You can get the First Alert on the stream on your First Alert 4 app, firstalert4.com, and streaming apps like Roku. Tonight, 2 people are dead and 2 officers are injured after a wrong-way crash in St. Louis County. This wreck happened at the I-170 flyover to I-64 around 2:30 this afternoon. We're told SLMPD officers were in a marked vehicle assisting in an operation when the driver hit them. Investigators say 2 of the 3 suspects are dead. 1 is hospitalized. City Police Chief Robert Tracy says he got to speak with both of the officers who were hurt.
They were able to communicate. Obviously, some serious injuries, fractures on both of these officers. They're going to be going into surgery. But right now, they're being triaged. Doctors are working on them, x-rays and everything. But to be able to speak to our officers, have them conscious and alert.
St. Louis County Police are leading this investigation. And while those officers are hurt, they are expected to be okay. A former St. Louis alderman could face decades in prison. Today, a federal jury convicted Brandon Bosley on charges related to insurance fraud and lying to the FBI. Today, jurors found Bosley guilty of 3 felony wire fraud charges and 1 count of making a false statement to the FBI. According to officials, Bosley hatched a scheme to inflate the cost of repairs to his car, which was involved with the crash. This led to Bosley pocketing thousands of dollars from the insurance company. Today, jurors also found Bosley lied multiple times during an interview with the FBI agents in the case. He is expected to be sentenced April 28th. Drone 4, powered by Renewal by Anderson, flying over the home of the St. Louis Billikens basketball team. It has been a brutally cold day, and we are keeping an eye on some snow. Steve.
Yeah, and it's not just us. This is a widespread, huge storm from Albuquerque all the way to Boston. Heaviest snow clips southeastern Missouri. There's ice storm potential, too, for areas farther to the south. I'll focus on our local impacts, the timing, the amounts. The latest update is coming your way.
Chaos outside a convenience store moments before an Illinois trooper shot a driver. We're examining the fatal shooting from multiple angles as an internal investigation continues. We'll be right back.
ASTL.com.
Welcome back. First Alert 4 showing you what happened in the moments leading up to and after an Illinois state trooper shot a driver in East St. Louis. That driver later died. Now Illinois State Police is releasing video that is from the incident. ISP says it started with an attempted traffic stop of a reported stolen vehicle on South State Street near North 45th. We do want to warn you, some of the video you are about to see may be hard to watch.
This dashcam video shows an Illinois state trooper driving behind a Chevy Equinox on the night of January 4th. ISP says troopers were investigating reports of a stolen vehicle at a convenience store on South State Street. The SUV turns left into a parking lot and troopers surround the vehicle. ISP says after coming to a stop, the driver, 40-year-old Rachel Terrence of Maryville, Illinois, puts the vehicle in reverse. Hands! You can hear on body cam video troopers commanding Terrence show her hands. Show your hands! Put the car park! Put it park! Shots fired! The trooper fired his weapon, hitting Terrence. ISP says the troopers called EMS. She was transported to the hospital, where she later died. ISP says there were 2 passengers in the vehicle, a man and a child. We're told that they nor the troopers were injured. ISP Internal Investigation Special Agents are investigating this incident. The trooper involved has been placed on administrative leave pending the outcome of the investigation. Cameron Bob, First Alert 4.
Now back to our First Alert weather day as the Fort Skycam gives us a live look at Lambert International. Well, that snow hasn't quite touched down yet. According to FlightAware, more than 10 flights have been canceled and 50 plus are delayed. Steve.
Well, that snow is on the way. In fact, First Alert radar looks like it's trying to pick up some snow radar returns. That's not reaching the ground. That's not snow. What's happening here is that wall of snow is going to hit a wall of dry air. In fact, near record dry air that's in place. If your skin has been drier than normal on a winter day or you've been using a lot of lip balm, this is why. Near record dry air. And that's why this snow is going to take a while to overcome that dry air, but eventually produce some light snow for Saturday. So let's time it out. Saturday in the late morning to afternoon. I'm thinking after 9 a.m. in St. Louis, a little earlier to the southwest. This is not all that impressive totals. 1 to 2 inches all the way through the afternoon and evening. It's light, but it sticks immediately on the frozen ground, and it's fluffy. It doesn't stick to power lines, not a power outage issue. This is a travel issue. This is where you don't want to be traveling. Saturday night into Sunday morning through noon. Additional 6-inch plus just from this hit of snow. That's where you want to avoid travel, and that's the main hit of snow from this whole snowstorm. Sunday noon to 4, there's still some light snow lingering into the afternoon, maybe an additional inch, but it's really ending, and at that point, you got to give the crews space and time to clean up from what has hit us from Sunday morning, which is where it's really going to be coming down. Now, tomorrow morning will be cloudy and cold. Boy, frigid, 2 degrees, wind chill of -13. By noon, we might start to see already some light snow or flurries, and off and on that kind of continues through the day. Maybe adds up to an inch or 2 in St. Louis. I think less to the northeast, more to the south-southwest, but even though it's light, even if it's a ½ an inch, that can create slickness on frozen ground, and it'll be frozen because we'll get up to about 11 and then it'll stay there about 11 into the evening. Wind chills will be near below 0. So here's the snow trying to move in tomorrow morning. Again, hits a wall of dry air. So if tomorrow morning you might see some radar returns, but that won't be reaching the ground until probably late morning and afternoon for St. Louis. But then eventually it does. So late morning, afternoon, light snow starts. Any snow sticks immediately. This is the evening now at 8 o'clock. This is probably flurries to very light snow. We might get into a lull. Here comes the heavier hit. Now, the latest models have delayed this a little bit. This is 1 a.m., but I think anytime after 11 p.m. at night and then through the overnight, that's when we're going to get the heaviest snow and the worst travel through Sunday morning and through noon on Sunday. See those blues? That represents moderate to heavy bands of snow. And look how we are smothered in it. Here's Sunday at 6 a.m. I mean, it's really coming down at that point. Even late morning, there's still some light to moderate snow here at 11 a.m. Then it tapers off in the afternoon. And again, even though it tapers off, by 4 o'clock, we should totally be done, but the roads still may be pretty messy after 7 to 11 inches of snow in St. Louis. I think we're probably in the 8 to 9 inch range, but there could be some isolated banding that creates pockets of heavier snow. And that's why I have the higher end at 11. 8 to 12 plus, we could see a foot or more for areas to the south that are closer to more moisture and get hit a little harder. The latest models have been showing a little more drying to the north, a sharper gradient where you go from a lot of snow to less snow to the north. I still have yet a significant 4 to 8 inches, but it is lighter snowfall totals up to the north. The dangerous cold can't be ignored either. Look at these temperatures. From 11 Saturday afternoon, doesn't drop off much into Sunday morning, 16 for the high on Sunday, and this is the coldest air. That's -1 on Monday morning. The wind chill will be -16 on Monday morning. It's dry, but it's frigid, and there's probably still some cancellations because of lingering travel impacts. This Tuesday, 32 and sunny, it's a blip of a warm-up. Look as the temperatures get colder after Tuesday. 20s on Wednesday, highs in the teens Thursday, Friday with single digits. Now, eventually by next weekend, we do start to see the temperatures climbing a little bit. That's actually February on Sunday with a high of 30, and then Monday, 35.
Well, a record day for the Billikens as Ishan Sharma lights it up from 3, plus a late game heartbreak for the Blues in Dallas. We're taking a look at the team's road struggles next in sports.
AAA, we're always with you.
Live, this is Sports on 4. powered by Nissan.
Well, the road has not been good to the St. Louis Blues lately, dropping 7 straight when playing outside of Enterprise Center. Well, tonight, a chance to end a 3-game Western Conference road trip with a win against a top team in the West, that is, the Dallas Stars. Well, the Stars on night 2 of a back-to-back losing in Columbus Thursday night. Jordan Binnington losing 4 of his last 5 starts, and the Stars start the scoring. The big question about the Blues, how will they respond? Dalibor Dvorsky on the power play. We're tied at 1 after 1. So we jump to the second. Neighbors, Buchnevich, one-timer, Blues on top. Great play. But Dallas gets another power play and capitalizes. The Blues take 5 penalties on Friday night. So we jump late to the third, tied at 2, about a minute left in this game at this point. Off the face-off, brutal. Dallas scores. The Blues have now lost 8 straight on the road. They return home tomorrow to host the LA Kings at Enterprise. Well, speaking of the Blues, Steve Ott is no longer on the bench for the Blues. Tonight is Ott's first game as head coach of the Springfield Thunderbirds. The T-Birds get a win in Ott's first dub in the AHL tonight. He's had less than a week at the helm, but hopes to bring what he's learned in St. Louis to Springfield.
I was approached by Doug Armstrong with this opportunity to take this job, and I didn't think twice. I was very excited. It's something that's missing in my hockey chapter is head coach experience, and I'm lucky enough to have had great coaching experience through great coaches as well, from Ken Hitchcocks to Craig Berube, leaving Jim Montgomery. I've had so many great influential people around me, and now I get to steal a little bit of their stuff and use a little bit of my own.
College hoops, SLU proving why they're a top 25 team today. A Friday matinee in New York versus St. Bonaventure. Yeah, SLU dominant from the jump. The Billikens shot 57% from beyond the arc, sinking 19 threes, matching a school record. Ishan Sharma leading the way, shooting 9 from 12 from deep and finishing with 29 points. A career high for Sharma and the most points by a Billiken this season.
Yeah, I mean, my shot felt good today. I know the other side of that is, when you can't hit anything. So just kind of staying even keeled, taking good ones, taking the shots that I work on all the time. So, it definitely felt good, though.
We all knew it was a matter of time. We seen it in the early part of the season, first couple of games, but we knew it was a matter of time before he explodes. So it was fun to watch.
Guys did a great job finding him. He did a great job of working to get open. And, once he got rolling, it was an avalanche, and that obviously gave us great separation.
Well, here's a look at the Saturday slate for college hoops. Mizzou hosting Oklahoma to start the afternoon in Como, a top 12 matchup in West Lafayette. The Illini on the road facing number 4 Purdue, going to be a really good one. But the Illini without Kylan Boswell until February. Jake Davis, he stepped up big for Illinois and will continue to take on a bigger role as Boswell sits out with an injury.
He's defensively made leaps and bounds of improvement from year one, and I just think a guy that has earned his opportunity and made the most of it.
Looking forward to those games tomorrow, but talking about today, the Billikens are 19-1 to start this season. They're a top 25 team. Keep your eye out for the Bills moving into March.
For sure. All right.
If your bet wins, pay instantly in bonus bets.
We end tonight, of course, talking about the big story in our region as we prepare for the snow this weekend. Some cities are trying to make dealing with this winter weather a bit easier on people. That includes the city of St. Louis, who for the first time is setting out free rock salt for residents at multiple firehouses throughout the city. And people took advantage with all of that salt being taken today. City officials are restocking the salt at those same locations for tomorrow. The city of Webster Groves is offering free firewood to its residents, available outside the Public Works Department. Gonna need that.
You're gonna need all of that, aren't we?
Yeah. Sounds like a good idea.
It's gonna be a tough stretch. Yeah. Remember, the coldest is Monday morning at -1, so it's frigid now, but it stays that way through Monday morning, and even next week doesn't look great.
A good weekend to sit inside.
Yeah.
With that firewood and just listen to Steve tomorrow.
Especially Sunday. That's when we get that heaviest snow. And I'd say try to avoid travel at all costs, especially in the morning to early afternoon.
All right. Make sure you have the First Alert 4 weather app downloaded. Have a great night. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
More news all day, every day from First Alert 4 on Roku, Apple TV, YouTube TV, and Fire TV.